Hello, hello. We got one viewer. As I said on the Instagram story, I'll just be here for 20 minutes before the guests come, just addressing your questions. Yeah, just hanging out. Got some royalty-free music going on in the background, so always a good time. Drop your questions in the chat. Let's have a good night. Nick will be on later tonight. What a great guy. I'm excited to see him again. Thanks for coming, Nick. Madison, an icon. We'll be talking about her a lot this episode. But yeah, welcome, guys. Good to be back. Good to be back. Oh, starting it off hot. You guys hear the music okay? This is a big production. You guys hear the royalty-free music? Let me know. Who is my least favorite contestant and why? Oh goodness. That's tough. I don't want to name any names. I am retired, so I can be as open as I want. But the thing about Survivor is we cast pretty well. I mean, there hasn't been really an instance where we've downright been too annoyed from a cast person. Everyone's kind of been chill. We've kind of just like bonded. So I don't really know. I can't really answer that question. There's been times where contestants have done the wrong thing, and I wish they did differently. But hey, it's their game, so I can't really fault them for that. But there hasn't been any blatant big thing that made it my least favorite contestant. And Nick, it's fine. I'll answer it. It's I'm retired. I'm washed up host, so free to answer anything. Thank you, Madison. Why is Jason Ding the best? This is a great question. Jason Ding, I believe he finished 15th or 16th in season 3 this season. He's just a great guy. It's kind of hard not to love that man. I mean, he's just his presence just brings out the best in everyone, and brings out the worst in probably himself. So he's a very humble guy. Love him to death. Wish him the best up in college, and hope to see him again soon. Yes, I'm still on my suck-up ways, Nick, of course. Just like when I played with you on a Survivor game, always. Let me try to get some more people in this chat. There's a third person. I don't know who the third person is, but they're hiding. So reveal yourself. Oh, I think it's Valentina. Here's Paul trying to steal the spotlight away from me.
I'm not trying to steal it. Luke, you asked for a yes because you can't entertain yourself.
I said drop your questions in the live chat. This is my moment, Paul.
You sent me this link.
I said if you want to join, but I didn't mean to join. Okay. I'll text him. Valentina, drop something in the chat. You won't. Paul is camera hungry. What's new? Sending him a screenshot of that. This is true. I did send him a link. This is also very true. Valentina is also in the chat, but hiding. So, boo to Valentina. Texting Mitch. Madison, I'm offended that you didn't say anything about my hair. But then again, I'm wearing a hat, so. Paul, come back. I miss you. If anyone doesn't know, Paul's famously in LA pursuing his career. He's going big places. So he's a big senior now in LA. So he might be working, but we miss him dearly in Syracuse. I mean, I'm not even in Syracuse, but we all miss him dearly. This is true. I'm actually trying to grow it out again for a nice fall moment. Plus, living in the city, there's a bunch of dating vibes to go around. Why not boil out the hair again? Not feeling this song. Let's see. Okay. Thank you, Madison. It was a great hair moment. It actually was cut in this episode a little bit. I remember I went home this episode just to go home, but I got a haircut, and it was like really swoopy. So it wasn't as flowy, but swoopy. Jake is also pursuing his career at LA, so wish him well. He actually graduated this past year, so he's my age, but wish him the best of luck out there. But yeah, big Instagram Live vibes for sure. See you soon. I will see you soon, Jake. Hopefully I'm coming out there in the next month or so I will see you. Paul, don't worry. This is royalty-free music. I don't need to call the editing police on me. We're all good. We're all good here. Let me text Sabrina, actually. Yes, Paul, my work, which I'll talk about my work a little bit later, but my work may ship me out early October to LA because our client's in LA. So I will visit you guys if I'm there. This is very true. Paul actually almost wore a cop outfit for this Halloween episode, but he decided not to last minute. Right, Paul? I'm also coming to see Valentina because she just texted me that she was sad that I didn't say I was coming to see her. So I will also be seeing Valentina, but not getting in and out. I'm actually going to make a banner. Shake Shack, better than In-N-Out. It's a new talking point. I believe Shake Shack is way better than In-N-Out. In-N-Out's cheap. That's where they get you the value. The value's there. Don't get me wrong. But Shake Shack, something about Shake Shack, it's so good. Its value's there. There's no hoopla about it. Animal style, don't get it. Plus In-N-Out, I mean, I don't know. It kind of gives me bathroom vibes when I walk into it. So that's my 2 cents on that. Fair. Paul, gladly. I will gladly stay with you. Valentina's just jealous. Let me put on the banner again. I can even edit it. This is fun. I should do this more often. Oh, that is not a good sound. I'll also say everything else better than In-N-Out. Like I said, In-N-Out, I don't know, it reminds me of a bathroom. Their milkshakes are literally water. Their burgers are okay, but like, I don't know, it kind of gives me Chipotle, like, after. Like, you go for Chipotle for the immediate satisfaction, but then afterwards, it's just a reckoning from hell. In-N-Out, you step in and you're already in hell. So I don't really know. Because I want to, Valentina. I'm bored. Post grad life is a time. So haven't been here in a while. Might as well come on. Mitch is trying to get on, but he does not know the YouTube link to Syrvivor Syracuse. Paul, give me some advice. What do you want me to talk about? Send me your questions, guys. I had only one question. Ooh, gives me Stranger Thing. No. Nope. Season 4 tease. I don't know how much I should give away. I'm hosting, so I will still be on for one more season if no one knew that. Yeah, I mean, season 4 probably is my favorite season of my tenure. I think a lot of people can agree with that at Syracuse. Big things to come from season 4. I know the editing crew is working on it currently, so that should be out very early 2022, if not before then. So a lot to expect from season 4. Very good season. Don't want to give away too much, but yeah. I don't know. I'm not good at spoilers. Favorite Syracuse player, who it be? Favorite player. This is tough. Let me answer Paul's question first. Who's your least favorite season oneer? I think Paul knows the answer to this. You know, season 1 was tough. Yeah, season 1 was the first ever trial run at this club. You know, I mean, I had some people helping me out from other colleges, but there's not really much you can do at hundreds of thousands of miles away. So there's some learning curves in the beginning. So one of those first challenges, you could tell who my least favorite season oneer is. If they even count as a season oneer in my mind, I don't think they do. So there's a nice little. I'm not adding anyone. Favorite Syracuse player would have to be Nassan Gusay. As a joke answer. I mean, Nassan was robbed. He was a grad student when he played season 2. He went to the thrift store. I always say this story. He went to the thrift store after he found that idol, made a fake idol out of that, and then Daisy found it, led to her demise. Also, that was a tough day when he got voted out because that was also the day Kobe passed away. So a lot of rips in the chat, literally, on that day. So if he had a chance to play again, I knew he would do so much better. And he impressed me. So, favorite college Survivor host? Oh God. I mean, I love Cooper. Don't get me wrong. I love Cooper. But no one can beat grandfather Austin Trupp. I mean, he's the one who grandfathered this entire thing. So he laid out the map for everyone. He laid out the map for me and so many colleges. I know Penn State just got one, so it's gotta pick Austin there. Taylor Travella wasn't actually a first. I don't. She barely knew the game when she was in the game, Paul. So I don't even know what you're talking about. What about season 0? Oh, season 0 was our mock season when we got denied to be a club. Fun fact about that: we got denied at first to be a club, and then I filmed a mock season on Valentine's Day, nonetheless. So that shows my love life. But who was there? Julia Kelly from season 1 was there. And that's it. And Joe Sacamano, the filmer. So that's pretty much it that was there. Oh, and was Ava there? I don't remember if Ava was there. But, yeah. Season 0 was fun. Ava was on season... Okay. Sorry, Paul. That was 3 years ago. Shout out to Mitch. I visited Syracuse this past weekend. He let me stay there for one night. It was a fun time. We had McDonald's. Yeah. That's a great question, Ethan. That's a great question. My workout routine is waking up, rolling over in my bed to my desk, working for 9 hours, then going back to bed. That is my workout routine. Sometimes I go into the office here and there, so that's a fun little commute. But yeah, walking. New York walking does a lot on the legs, but I will not be showing you my legs this post show. Maybe later in the show. I'm also on my bed, not at my desk. That's how tired I am. Probably missing some questions. Don't be sad. Okay, so my least favorite player is actually Valentina. She was I love Valentina, but if she was more quiet after I said quiet for the 14th time, I would have appreciated it, but still love her to death. The season would have been so different without her. So glad. She was one of the last people that was actually in the season. Julia Kelly actually put her in the season because I needed more people. Need more girls. 2 years ago. Yep, that's true. Team Anders. Shout out to Anders. He's doing big things. I don't know if I can say, so I won't say, but he's doing big things. Least favorite cast. Oof. Least favorite cast. This is tough. Now you're dishing out all the tea. I mean, season 1 is like a lot of my friends come from season 1, so I can't pick that. Out of season 2 and season 3, I don't know. It's tough. Season 2 is like, but also season 3. I would say the people. Is this right that I'm saying? The people that made it far in both seasons, I'm glad made it far in both seasons. I'll say that much. If they didn't, then that would be my least favorite cast. Hottest cast was the production crew of season 1. Hottest alliance was the alliance that Valentina wasn't in. So Sean and Logan. Liberal. Oh, you're right, Mitch. You're right. But Mitch, you weigh that down a lot. So I don't know. You're part of pre-merge, so who knows? Production always has the sexiest contestants. It's true. I mean, you saw my hair this season. It was great. If everyone was wearing the Halloween costumes the entire time, then it could qualify season 3 as the hottest cast. Especially Kevin's. We gotta get Kevin in this chat. Especially Kevin's costume. Let me text Kevin. Also, let me get these guests in. Andrew and Nick, I know you guys are in the chat, but you guys can come join the link. Join post show. Hope you guys enjoying this nice little get together, nice little hangout. We still have the banner. Let me take that out. This was fun. I am not anti-vax. Fuck everyone who's anti-vax. Putting that out there. You guys are selfish. I work in advertising. I'm very passionate about this, and we'll say something. I work in advertising, and people are so anal about privacy and like anti-vax shit. It comes from the same bread, whatever. Just get your vaccines. Come on, who cares? Like, look out for others over yourself, because other people are more affected about it than you. So, all right, let's get these. I'll end it on that note, but let's get these guests in. So we have Ethan, Andrew here. Hey guys.
What's up?
Yo, what's
How
up?
we doing?
Long time no see.
Too long, right?
A little bit.
Way too long. We're so much older now. Honestly, how long has it been? Actually, it's not actually been that long. It's been the same year.
Dude,
So,
don't say shit like that. That makes it too real.
I mean, Ethan, you didn't graduate yet, right?
No, dude, this shit's sitting next to me.
Oh, yeah.
I still have 2 years to go, but yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And you guys are in grad school, I guess, then.
Yeah.
Damn, look at you guys.
It's just because I couldn't get a job.
It's tough waters
That's why
out
a
there.
lot of people go.
It is tough. Hey, if there's any time to get a grad
Shalom,
degree,
Paul.
we'll wait
Thank
for
you.
Nick. But happy that these guys are back on. Happy that I'm back on. It's been a while, but people in production, specifically Mike, Andrew, Paul, Sabrina's been in the background as well. They've carried the ropes over very swimmingly in my absence, in my post-grad absence. But I am back. I've settled into my post-life job. Living in Brooklyn now, so fun time. Hit me up in Brooklyn. But yeah, I'm back. Survivor's in my blood. I need it back. It's my drug. Can't get away from it for too long. Just went back
Premiere in a
up.
week.
Yeah,
Season 41, which we've all been waiting for.
I know. I'm excited. I'm very excited. I started a fantasy. Well, I didn't start it actually. Jake started a fantasy Survivor thing for Survivor.
Nice.
That made kind of no sense, but yeah. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, back to Survivor. Just waiting for Nick. How have you guys been?
Pretty good. Can't
No
overly
complaints
complain. I can always complain, but I don't have a lot to complain about right now.
I know. When are you guys coming to New York? That's the question.
True.
Bro,
That's gonna be on the agenda.
I'll actually be in Syracuse in 2 weeks. So New York, but not New York City.
I know. See, like, I'm conflicted because I was just there this week, and I don't want to be that like post-grad guy to go back visiting college week after week, even though I would because of Survivor. I don't know how I'll do that on my image, but I will see. Maybe I'll hit you up on a rest stop on the way.
Yeah, no worries.
There you go. I'll
Nick's
come
in
through at
here.
some point. Nick, woo!
Hi,
Oh, he
Nick.
got the Survivor buff too. He ready.
I had to rap.
Oh, ball Survivor, babe. Do I have
Yeah.
my
Oh, that's
my
dope.
UConn one somewhere else? I'll find it.
We just started season 2, so I had to wear the season 2 buff.
Congrats.
Hey, shout out to Ball Viber doing big things. I know Nick and Brenda, she's been on these shows, have texted me about it. So
Mhm.
get ready for that. We have 10 viewers. That is a good amount of viewers.
Wow, are we popular?
We are popular. It's my presence, right, Paul?
It's all you.
All right, so we have a big jam-packed episode. Not gonna lie, it's gonna be very informal. Haven't done this in a while, but we'll try to shoot the shit and we'll try to get through it as best as we can. So we have season 14, episode 14, season 3, Mind, Body, Soul. We start off with the final 7 of Lindsay, Zach, Holly, Sabrina, Lydia, and Madison. Great final 7, great cast overall. But we started off with Cassidy getting voted off in the last tribal, finishing 8th place. Yeah, finishing in 8th place. And basically the methodology over that vote was Madison, Lydia, and Sabrina flipping over Zach from the Soul Tribe and having him vote off Cassidy, who was one of his main allies since the very beginning, Cassidy and Lindsay both. I just wanted to gauge your guys' thoughts on Zach and his decision to flip this late in the game.
If you're gonna lose to those people, why would you not vote them out? I think Zach easily loses to Holly, to Kevin, to Cassidy. So he had to vote them out. If he doesn't, then he gets to the end and they're like, dude, you sucked. And he's like, yeah, I did. So of course he had to do what he did.
Yeah, I agree. He was like in a losing situation if he doesn't do it, where he's just going to get dragged into the final 4, final 3, whatever, and he just won't look good. So although it obviously pissed off Lindsay and Holly quite a bit, it's a move he has to make. And I think we see through the rest of the episode, it didn't necessarily negatively affect where his standing was. But yeah, I think it was necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an individual game at that point, and he played his game the way he needed to play it. I would have done the same thing.
Fair enough. What does it say about Lydia, Madison, and Sabrina, though, that they had the gumption or the wherewithal to pull Zach over? what if essentially they've been on the outs for a bit?
Well, I'm
think-
wondering if
Go
I
ahead.
know they certainly had agency in this decision, but later on in the episode, when Zach is having his FaceTime call with, gosh, I can't remember exactly who he's FaceTime calling, but he had Holly in the background. It was revealed that he was the one that came up with the plan essentially, or perhaps went to those girls and really figured it out. So, I'll give props to them, but I think this was Zach trying to make his own statement, not necessarily that he was manipulated or pulled into a plan that he was not super fond of. I think that he was like, I got to do this move now.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think you said it
That's a
perfectly.
great take, Andrew. I don't think that's wrong. I think those three girls were in a similar position to Zach, but were each individually less likely to be dragged along than Zach was. So obviously it's in their best interest because they have to get themselves to the end. So if you got to vote out the people that are in your way. And it's a really, really hard game because you have to do that for you, and it's going to piss the people off that you have done it to. So as we move through tonight, jury management's going to be a fun topic because I don't know who's done it well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough part about Survivor. You have to make it to the end without pissing anyone too much off. But also with College Survivor, it's even harder, I feel, because it's so social, and people take it so seriously. So
I think one of the things people don't realize about College Survivor is that it's twice the length of the island seasons. So even though you're not living with these people 24/7 in the same setting, like you're connecting for so long and have built a 3-month genuine friendship. And you don't have an excuse that you're doing it for $1 million. So some people will get bitter and hold it against. It's very tough because of the social stakes that get added onto it for sure.
To add on to it too, once you get voted out, you're not removed from some island. You still are at school with these people for however long. So you might see them on campus, and
I know we've seen in other College Survivors, if you've watched them, roommates that play together, and sometimes roommates that get voted out by each other, and it's an experience because you keep living with those people this time.
Yeah, I actually think that College Survivor tends to produce more bitter juries than actual Survivor does, just because, like what Ethan said, you're not playing for $1 million. Typically, it's $100 or, if anything, right? And so then all of a sudden you're producing you're finding these genuine friendships, especially if it's at the start of a semester when people are just kind of easing back into college. You're making new friends, and then just have their friends turn on them. It can be actually hurtful. I mean, Lindsay says it where she's like, oh, Zach, I think that was a good move game-wise, but as a person, I respect you less now. And so is that a heat of the moment thing? Maybe, but it's also possible that Zach actually severed a true connection with somebody, and I feel like you see that a lot in College Survivor. I guess you see it in Real Survivor too. I just think it's so much more prominent in College Survivor.
No, yeah, it's the added factor too. You're hurt by this person. Are you going to grant them the title of winner of this game? Are they going to get you that vote in the end? I don't know. But
really hard to separate those things, and I think recognizing one of the best skills you can have as a player in this game is recognizing who's going to respond in each way. Who can separate the emotions in the game and who can't, and how do you have to balance that on top of just your regular strategy. It's
very true.
Props to all of y'all.
In regular Survivor 2, people are willing to do much more for $1 million. In College Survivors, you see more. I think who's willing to do more just for a title, basically. That becomes more of a storyline, I think, in College Survivors than you see on CBS.
Oh yeah, but it's great. We live for it. We love it. Love the drama. I mean, I haven't played it less an online org, and I'm still salty about that. So
slimy.
Moving forward to this next challenge, the cup balancing challenge, which I took from our online org. Balancing cups on her head. I famously won that challenge. In this episode, Holly famously won this challenge. She needed it. What did you guys think of the challenge and Holly winning it out?
I love endurance challenges. I think they are like from a production point of view, sometimes they're a pain in the ass if they go for hours and hours. So you did a great one, which is like an endurance that was only going to top at like 15 minutes total. But still, it's just like it's a way for people to push themselves, and because we can't create these massive obstacle courses and crazy like swimming events, but that is a physical moment for these people to like try and take on. So they're always cool for me to watch and see how people do with them. And props to Holly because her back was against the wall and then she dug deep and got it.
For sure.
Yeah, I think Ethan said a little bit what I was going to say too. Like, I think sometimes we see more often like almost minute to win it type of things is the closest we get to it. But this was like an actual challenge where like someone had to have great balance and great strength in their body to like control it as well as they could. So I like that.
Yeah. Also, I feel like these kind of challenges really show who wants it and who maybe is not willing to put in the effort. And Zach dropping for the $10, I think, is maybe where his mind's at. And then he doesn't have a great challenge showing in the next challenge either. All around, this was a net negative episode for Zach. I love that you gave them the opportunity to step down for $10, Luke. I thought that was funny. And when no one took it the first time, I was like, nice. Like they're in this game. And then, 2 minutes later, he steps down for $10. I'm like, all right, there you go.
In my head, I watched that and I was like, nah, Zach was falling anyways. That's the only excuse. For $10, you've been in this for like 2.5 months, dude.
Yeah,
that's like 10 cents an hour of work. It's not worth it.
I remember I was supposed to go to like a dining hall to pick up food because I had like free whatever. I had a friend that was going to pick me up free food from the dining hall, and they had like packaged sandwiches and stuff. But it was closed for some strange reasons. I was like, okay, let me just throw out $10, see if anyone takes it. And Zach, behold it, takes it. So yeah. So moving forward, Holly wins immunity, so she's safe. Like Ethan said, back up against the wall, win it where she counts, when it counts. Lindsay was also up against the wall here. She finished, I think, second in this challenge. She did not walk away with it, so she was most likely going to be the vote. That said, I believe it was Lydia, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was Lydia who hid the fake idol in effort for Lindsay to try to find it when looking for an idol that supposedly everyone thought was still out there. What did you guys think of this? We'll get into more of the fake idol stuff later, but what did you guys think of just this initial plan, I guess?
they did it.
They did it.
I don't know if I would have, but they did.
Like, was it necessarily needed?
No, fake idols are the worst idea. Stop doing it, people.
Hannah Dolan had effect season 2.
Oh my god!
I think
Hannah Dolan did it though, and it was iconic when she did it because
she went before the season. This woman's like, let me bring 20 bags of jewelry, and I'm gonna hide them like a month before everyone else moves in. It'll be great.
Right.
Yeah, Hannah Dolan was something else. But I think one of the bad parts about hiding a fake idol, especially this late in the game, or like hoping that someone finds one this late in the game, is I think it can actually lead to like more chaos because now this idol person like knows they're safe, and so they might be willing to like really shake up a vote or try to confuse people, which obviously like was not the case this episode. So Lydia should feel thankful that didn't happen. But I think it just like planting fakes and hiding fakes, it just leads to more chaos. Like early on, if you're gonna try to fool like your tribe by like hiding a fake, it's like final 18 or 20, whatever. Like who cares? Do it then. That's funny. But at final 7, I think that's a little too risky.
I think you brought up like a really
Typically, the
interesting
move with
point
fake
there.
idols is like you hide it to like kind of keep eyes off of you if you have the real one. Not so much so like make someone think that they're safe when they're not. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like if you're going to do a fake idol, it should be like to cover your ass, not to try and make a move. But I think Andrew brought up like a really good point. If someone finds that idol and now thinks they're safe, like they have just shaken things up. You've created a variable that you didn't need and can be like your own issue, your own chaos you've dropped on yourself. So I don't know. Season 2 of Survivor Syracuse, they didn't work out so great. Season 2 of Survivor Yukon, I'll spoil that shit. They don't work out so great. Like, I don't know about all this, y'all.
Very true. And it's not like it was like a last ditch scenario. I understand it if it's like a last ditch scenario, like throw out a fake idol or tell someone you have a fake idol. But Lydia was safe, so like, I don't know. I especially see it in this season. Like, everyone was just out for blood at some point. I think it was just the mind, body, soul divisions, especially with soul, because soul stuck together for so long, and mind, body was kind of floating in the middle. But once it hit a certain point, they were just gunning for each other, and they would do pretty much anything to try to get them out. Plus, Lindsay and Holly have been kind of like staying around for a bit. Like, their names, as well as Lydia, their names have been like on the chopping block here and there. So I guess if I were to assume, it was just another extra cherry on top if Lindsay found that idol or that fake. Yeah. So let's talk about Kevin. I want to get your guys' thoughts on Kevin. So he tries to make up something to switch it up, leaving hope for himself because he knows he's going to be out next if Lindsay gets out. What do you guys think of Kevin?
I love Kevin. I think everyone loves Kevin. He's funny. He's great on camera. He gets everyone to like him. He's just super charismatic. I don't know. I see zero chances of him winning, even if somehow he gets to the end. I think there's just too much Kevin for the Kevin play to work. You know, like you can be this over the top like fun character and make it, but I especially as you see later in the episode, he just sort of like falls flat and like even gives up on his own like character he's been playing this whole time. So I don't know. I adore Kevin. I don't know what the heck he can do to like pull this off in the end. I hope something wild happens in the finale because I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't think anyone. It doesn't matter who he's sitting next to. I think that the jury is probably going to vote not him. I don't know. like there's just been too many other moves that like he wasn't really a part of or other people got credit for. So like it doesn't really matter.
He's managed to snake everyone and then not like be involved in other moves that end up snaking him. Like he's been on the wrong side of everything, even when the move works his way.
Right.
See, I think that should he go to a final two, perhaps with Zach, considering this was such a shit episode for Zach, I do think he could pull out some votes, especially since I reckon he'd have Holly on his side, probably would have Lindsay pulling for him, maybe Cass. So I think that, he would have some supporters on the jury, but I really don't think it's going to be a final two. So I do think that he's probably got no shot at winning. But dude just pumps out funny lines. Like I wrote down I think he said like, fuck you or something like that. And then he goes, wait, bleep that out. I want to get a job in the future.
Yeah.
He's just funny. He's just a funny dude. So maybe he can crack up the jury enough to get some brownie points. But
and we didn't cut it out. That's the best part.
Good job finding the one out, Andrew. What an optimist. If he brings Zach, he does stand a chance. I don't know about anyone else, though.
Kevin, I don't think he could be anyone else.
Kevin actually tuned in. He's actually abroad right now. It's 2 in the morning in Italy, so he might have went back to sleep. But I texted him during the post show, and he was asleep. So, Kevin, if you're still there, hi. We love you. You're hilarious, and we'll see what happens. But moving on to the Tribal Council. So, Halloween Tribal Council, not really any shakeups. Lindsay gets voted out. And yeah, so we are set up with the final 5 of. Wait, no.
No, we're at 6 still.
I'm skipping.
Yeah,
we're at 6.
Wait, Luke, we gotta talk about who had the best costume.
True. That is why this segment is Best Costume Award.
He does have a banner.
I'm prepared. All right, so I have some pictures, and we're going to sort through everyone. So I remember this episode. I told everyone to come, 1, and 2, how do I share my screen? Window, to wear a costume. So here's the jury, at least most of it. So we have returnee Ryan Baker. Let's get a scoring grade out of 10 for this fireman. Let it be known that it is like 50 degrees. Yeah, he's just wearing a hat, but I do like the effort of wearing a red mask with the red hat.
I was gonna say a 6 for the red mask. That elevates it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was also going to say a 6. Very classic costume. Reminds me of childhood.
Yeah, I'm leaning like, 4 or 5. Like, he's got the hat, it's cute. He's got the red mask to match, but not much effort otherwise. So I gotta go a little low here.
Valid. Completely valid.
This is a great post show, everyone. Next, we have Lindsay as a jack-o'-lantern, I believe. She has face makeup. It's seen in another shot. However,
I did see it in like the Instagram posts. Her makeup's actually really good.
Yeah, this was a bomb.
Yeah.
Way to go out, at least. So I give it a 10 out of 10. Love the costume.
I also have to give her a 10. She committed. She had the matching mask to go with it. We both got voted out of our seasons with a full mug. So, like, I empathize with her on that.
Oh, yeah.
10 out of 10.
Okay, so I gotta just say, when I was watching the episode, I didn't realize until like literally just now that her mask was like a jack-o'-lantern mask. And so I thought I was like, why the fuck is her like face orange? Like, what did she do? And I thought that maybe she was supposed to be like the Syracuse orange, like y'all's mascot or whatever. And so I was like, damn, she just painted her face orange. Like, all right, I guess. But now knowing that her mask contributes to the jack-o'-lantern look, I'll give her some more points here. Because at first I was like, why is your face just orange? Like, that's like, why?
Oh, yeah. We'll move on to Cool Hand Joe. I think he's a cowboy. I don't know. I feel like this is something Joe would wear on a day-to-day basis. So it's like,
if that's the case, it's a straight 10. If he walks around like that, all the love in the world for him.
I mean, Adobo Joe, I don't know if you remember Nick from Luke Paul's Drag Race. He's a stylish guy. So,
I mean, Kylie, on this most recent season of Drag Race, Kylie Sonique Love stole his look, wore the same look on the Drag Race runway. So, like, he's keeping his branding with the bandana.
I love it.
Good on him.
Next, we have Owen in a safari outfit. Love the hat. Everyone rocking hats. Not much costume. We'll see later that someone who really went all out. But solid, average, 5 out of 10.
He wore a bucket hat.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, the jury wasn't really feeling.
No, some of these were flat. The contestants all had better ones.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, these guys were probably hungover. So,
Fair.
Cassidy and Carl both rocking college gear outfits.
Right.
So that's fun. So, solid costumes all around. Let's look at the cast. Yes,
I mean, we were doing a toot and boot for the post show.
this is the content I have for my post show. All right. Woo! Now this we have.
These are fire.
Yeah, these are good.
Zach may not be really good at performance challenges, but this costume, amazing. He's a missing person milk carton thing.
I think if you zoom in, though, it wasn't a missing person. It was like he's missing this immunity necklace because he didn't win it at all this episode, and he flopped in both of the challenges.
He didn't get a single question right on the jury test, right?
Awful.
Insane.
You
gotta guess better than that, dude.
Yeah, like, how does he not know what grade, what year his fellow castmates are? He's been playing with them for 2 months. That's insane.
At UConn, we did like a whole like season trivia, like questions about the people, questions about what happened in the game at Final Four. People took notes. Zach did not take notes.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. Poor Zach. He looked the part.
He looked the part. There you go.
We have Remy Ratatouille. Solid costume from Lydia.
I like the chef hat. It gives it a nice touch. Does she have a tail?
Yeah, she did have a tail.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll give that one an 8. That's multiple pieces to it. It's cohesive.
Oh yeah.
You know, this one for me, I think I have to give another 10, only because I remember during this like time period was like that TikTok meme with Remy the Ratatouille, so it was timely.
True.
So I have to give her a 10 for that.
Yeah, Nick, I was just about to say the same thing. Very topical costume for the Remy the Ratatouille musical. So, yeah, I think she was on brand with the time.
Very true. Oh, Lydia said he had suspenders under the coat.
that
that's
was
talking
it for the
about
firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Cass was Boo from Monsters Inc. Okay, that elevates her costume.
Oh, I think I saw that one on Instagram too. That one wasn't bad. She had like a little doll with her.
Paul, yes, this is the post show. It was Ratatouille musical era. That's true. Okay, now I lost the screenshot. Okay, Madison, if I do not remember, but I do not remember what costume.
Oh, she was So that's not a great picture of it. She was dressed as Korra, from the Legend of Korra, and hers is actually really good. She's got like the arm sleeves and everything. She had the whole like pelt waist thing. Hers was like really solid. That one's a 10. She put some work with that.
Well, I'm glad Ethan's here. I trust his judgment. I will give it a 10 as well.
There's the one where she's when they're like sitting down doing something else. Maybe I don't remember, but it's all in there. It's good.
Ethan knows more about the costumes and
more about them than the game.
Luke was there.
Oh yeah, was I there? I don't know.
We skipped over Sabrina too.
Oh, Sabrina is so
good. Oh, best for last. Right.
And Holly, sexy Jeff Probst.
Mm-hmm.
However, she did not look exactly like me, so I'll have to give it a 7 out of 10. But
that's super true. We've had like Survivor Halloween parties, and someone will come as Probst. But if you dress up as the host of your show, that's an 11, like just easily. I dressed up as like the other host, and it was the costume of the night. So that's what you got to shoot for.
What if I have a Halloween Survivor? Should I announce this on live? Like, honestly, everyone in the Survivor sphere, come through to my place on Halloween. I'll have a party. Why not? Actually, no. Yeah, I'll plan it. Guys, I will text you afterwards. You guys are coming. Bring your costume.
I'll book my flight now. Yeah.
Last but not least, Sabrina, I think it's fitting that she won this challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Let alone this cost. I remember, I don't think it was a vlog. I think I FaceTimed her for some reason. And she was like preparing this. And I'm like, what are you preparing? She was like, my costume. So she made this full on Gary like shell just for this.
It's very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
You should be proud of herself.
If this is fashion photo Luke view, I think that I'm gonna have to give her a shoot, and she's also my top 2 to the week.
Love it. Like, look at those eyes.
I know. The beginning to end, hers was very clear with what it wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
It executed well. It's got some good just like regular person clothes to complement it. They don't take away anything from it. Very well done. Very well done.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot the honorable mention. So you don't see it in this shot.
I forgot.
You don't see it in this shot, but during voting, I don't know if you guys remember it, he's actually dumbass. He has a piece of paper on his ass that says dumb, like D-U-M-B. So that was his costume. I'm pretty sure he didn't come with a costume. He just wrote dumb on a piece of voting paper and then taped it on his ass.
So simple and sweet.
That's on brand. It may not be a great costume, but it's a on brand moment, so that's like an 8.
Right.
But
yeah,
to not fear, because I have Kevin's actual. Kevin's gonna kill me for this, but his
Luke's pulling shit out. He's going into the archives.
That's a great confessional. To do it in a face mask is fucking hilarious.
Yo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and like I love Kevin so much because in the beginning he was so nervous on what to say on camera. He would do like multiple takes, and I'm like, it's not that serious. Just send whatever you have. And now he's here in the final 6, filming with a face mask on and saying fuck. So
Beauty doesn't rest, man. Beauty doesn't rest.
That's true.
Right. He definitely was like, you know what? Like, I'm not really doing a lot this episode. How do I get some camera time?
Honestly, true.
An icon.
Cassidy says yes, Kevin. All right, let's get back to the episode. Right? Let's.
Oh, we get to talk about how shit Zach was in that challenge. Oh
True.
my god.
Let's talk about that, and let's talk about how that gels over with not only the jury, who some of them hate him for flipping on Cassidy and Lindsay, but now he doesn't know anything about them. What do you guys think of that?
Just an awful look. Like, he's really not doing himself any favors, especially since, Lindsay made it clear in Tribal Council that she respected him less as a person, and then he shows that he knows nothing about his fellow castmates, shows that he probably doesn't care too much about them as people, which is maybe looking at it a little deeper. It's just College Survivor. But, just awful look. You got to get one question right at the minimum. Like,
Right.
You don't know Lindsay's year. She's like one of your closest allies. You don't know what grade she's in. Come on, man. That's a tough look.
Right. I think we talked about it earlier that College Survivor is much more of a social game, and that's like week one stuff. Like, I think that it's fair to say that most College Survivors, like, one of the first things that you see is the tribe will be like, oh, let's all go out and get dinner together or something. And like, how do you like go and do that type of stuff and then not remember anything about the people that you're playing the game with?
Yeah, it sets a bad precedent. It doesn't look good to the jury, and it doesn't look good to the people he's still with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're all going to be looking at him like, really, Zach? Like, seriously? I don't know. It's just, it stings a bit because you put so much time into these people. You should walk away knowing them as people. I don't know. I'm sure Zach's great. Mm-hmm. I've been a fan of him the whole season, but that one was tough to watch and tough to cheer for afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
For the people still in the game too, it begs the question: does he know anything about them?
Does he know anything about me? Does he care about the relationship I have with him at this point?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, Ethan may have frozen. Oh no, he's back. So yeah, so that begs the question: what does this performance do for Zach's stock? Does it actually get him farther into the game? Because what the fuck, the jury is like, you don't know anything about me. Why should I get my vote?
It could help book him his spot at the end, because like Andrew said, I think it's probably a final three. Given that you started at like 21, it was a big season. So I mean, I'd drag him there. There's no reason for anyone for the rest of the game to write down the name Zach, the cast or the jury. No reason to write down the name Zach anymore. So I just bring him with me. Yeah, I think it could be great for him. I hope he recognizes that that's maybe the position he's in, and he does something really spectacular with that agency of, hey, no one's writing my name down. I might as well do something like big. But that's to be seen. I don't know. Zach was my winner pick, and I don't love that no more.
I remember that. I asked you before the season even started.
Mm-hmm.
Luke, I think that we when we were talking about it earlier, you said something like that for Zach, it's too little, too late. I completely agree. Like, I agree with Ethan that he has the chance to like do something big with it, but like it's already so close to the finale that I don't know if he has time to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if Zach is looking to make another like big move here at the final five, he could be in trouble, since we know that Madison and Lydia both have idols, right? So if he decides to target them for whatever reason and they catch wind of the plan, then they might be pissed off enough to be like, all right, Zach, like, fuck you, you're going home. We're going to leave Kevin in for another week because we can just get him out at 4, right? So I actually think that there's still situations where he doesn't end up making it to the end, but I think the people left in the game would be foolish to vote him out because I think that his stock is so low.
Yeah. So this whole thing with Zach surrounds around jury management. And this entire episode surrounds jury management. So this fake idol comes back into our lives again. Sabrina's given out the last clue. Whatever, it's already found. But this fake idol still looms over large. I believe Lydia is the one who made it. But she gives it to Madison, and Madison's in this constant limbo of whether or not she should give it to Holly. She's talking to Holly about, hey, I have this other idol, I could give it to you. What are your guys' thoughts on this entire thing? At the end, she decides to give it to Holly. Holly thinking fully true, it could be a fake, but it's probably real, playing it and then being disappointed. Was this just bad jury management?
Absolutely. Kevin and Holly both said at one point, like, why would it be fake? Because if they did, that would be like a shitty move. And it was fake and it was a shitty move. Um, and I don't know, maybe the real move here was they pressured Madison into doing it to kind of sink her game a little bit. But I don't know.
That's
It
kind
was
of
a shitty move.
that's kind of how I view this. Was like I don't know. Madison, when Lydia was making the fake idol, was like, I don't want to do this. Like I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think it's the right thing to do to people. And she talked about how she had improved her relationship with Holly throughout, and how she had this rapport. I really don't think she wanted to just like throw that to the wind. I feel like she was maybe pushed towards that. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. It's a really hard game. It's a lot easier for us to like critique what people do, but to make those decisions all the time, I don't want to be responsible for that. I suck at these. So it's hard to, it's easy to cast stones. It's hard to actually pull it off. So not a great move, but it's not always under your full control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to give props to Lydia because I think she, like, how she convinced Madison to give Holly her fake idol is beyond me, because it's just such an abysmal move in my opinion, especially since Madison's doing these confessionals where she's like, oh yeah, Holly's voted out all my allies, but I'm starting to like her more. You know, we do talk, we are becoming friends. It's not that I dislike her as a person. She's just, you know, voted out all my allies. And then Holly's probably thinking the same thing, like, oh yeah, like I am building a pretty good relationship with Madison. We're putting the past behind us. We're moving on to the end game. We're willing to just be players. And then this happens, and Holly's going to go to the jury and be like, everything that Madison said to me was a lie. It was made up. She didn't care about being my friend. She just wanted to get revenge on me for me voting out her allies. So it's a pretty awful look for Madison, I think. I'm not sure if it'll drastically affect her end game, other than she might just have to apologize at the end if she's there, but not a great look. And if Lydia's at the end with her, then and Madison tries to pin it on Lydia, then Lydia can just say, well, you didn't have to do it. Like, I gave you this fake idol to maybe play on somebody and you went through with it, not me. So just awful for Madison.
That's why it reads as like a good Lydia play. I agree. I think it was brilliant of her to pass off the blame and, like, whether intentionally or not, try and tank someone else that they have really close relationships, and at this point they both know each other. Well, actually, I don't think Lydia knows that Madison has an idol, but Madison knows Lydia has an idol. Madison knows Madison has an idol. She knows they're both in the final four. So, like, props to Lydia for that. It's I don't know. I don't love
It's
this.
tough. It's
tough.
I mean,
It's a hard game.
Yeah. when this happened, when this entire thing happened, I was just so confused on what was going on. I was like, it's almost the end of the game. Like, let's keep chaos out of it. But it happened, and we'll see what happens down the road. But now Holly gets eliminated, with Kevin and Holly both majorly pissed off. I don't know if it was in the episode, but afterwards, Kevin was kind of just talking to them, people that were remaining, and why would they do that? Why would they give him a fake idol when she already knew she was going home? Like, why not just send her on her way and just say, sorry, like, you're going.
But that's another moment of, like, separating the game from, like, the personal, because you've built this personal rapport. Keep that, and then say, like, this is what happened in the game, and this is what I have to do for mine. Sorry, you're not a part of it. Send them on their way. But you've kept this. It's really hard. People don't, if you haven't done it before, you're not going to know what to do too. It's hard to, like, throw, like, it was bad, but it's hard to, like, yell at these people for it.
Do you think Lydia will get any flack from it? If Madison...
She could, yeah. If Madison passes the blame on to her, like, Madison has to, like, understand that she's the one who handed it off, but she can, like, say, like, nah, Lydia's been the sneaky one who she's been like posting on the Instagram like comments too, and she's hilarious, and she's like dunking on people, and like if she's like, yeah, she's been dunking on all of you the whole time, then people might get better. I don't know, but Lydia's so funny.
Yeah, I think if Lydia gets to the end and Madison's on the jury, then she might catch some flame for these things. But if Madison's sitting next to her, like Lydia can just deflect, right?
Mhm.
Like when you're at the end of the game, you can still lie. Like you don't have to tell the truth on the moves you made or the things you did. So she gets there and she just goes, nah, like Madison was completely complicit in this plan. Like I gave her the fake idol, but she wanted to do XYZ with it. So just lie. Why stop the lying once you're at the end, honestly?
Facts. I want to bring up another point. Where does Sabrina fit in this? Because Sabrina's kind of like there, but not there. But at the same time, she knows what's going on, but she also doesn't. Does she receive any flack from it? I mean, she's been very like even keel this entire season. She's made friends when she needed to make friends. She's been not the villain, but not necessarily the hero. Where does Sabrina fit in all of this? Because she's with Madison and Lydia. But in this whole fake idol stuff, where does she fit?
I feel like out of all of the final five, she probably has like the least like negativity between her and the jury, which could do her a lot of favors if she's sitting at the end. Maybe they'll be bitter enough to throw her some votes. You never know.
Yeah, I feel like she doesn't have like too much blood on her hand, to be honest, comparatively. I feel like she's just kind of like the middle rider, the middle choice. Like if you're super bitter, but you also don't want to like reward someone that you think's had like shit gameplay, maybe you go with Sabrina, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or if you just aren't feeling the final three and you're like, all right, these people made bad and good moves, but Sabrina is just like right there, like with the neutral moves, go Sabrina.
Yeah. I think Sabrina has played a very good game in that sense. There are two objectives in Survivor, only two. Make it to the end and convince your specific jury on your season that you did better than the people next to you. So if she cannot piss people off and this jury's not looking for like flashiness and like the big shit, good job. She's probably going to win. I think Sabrina's the most likely winner out of this final five. But I think everyone else has a better opportunity to like grab it than her during this final five, if that makes sense.
No, that's very true. Very true. Sabrina has played like not to like what did I want to say? Like in the like the new soul, new body, new mind, new soul, new body. She was the only soul. I don't even remember. She was the only soul person on that new body or new whatever tribe. Like she made it through there, and I remember Adam was on the flip side, and Adam went through chaos. So the fact that she was able to just stay under the radar, and yeah, she hasn't made the biggest moves, but she's done enough to make it where she is. So we'll see what happens.
You don't have to impress the audience. You can be an under the radar positive force, and if you've impressed your jury enough, that's all it takes.
I think it's completely fair for her if she's sitting at the end to like say in front of the jury, I got all the way here and I didn't have to do y'all so dirty to get here, unlike everybody else. So
sure.
Plus, she was almost first boot, right?
Yeah.
Like it was almost Sab, and then it flipped onto oh, what was that girl's name? I'm sorry.
Jen.
What was it?
Jen.
Yeah.
That's right.
But I don't know. That's a good story. Then you've managed to not piss people off, navigate several like tribes and alliances, and get yourself there. Win a couple of immunities. It's a good game, even if like it's not about impressing us. It's about getting there and doing it.
Oh yeah. All right, so we move on to the final five. This is where the episode cuts off with Holly's elimination. Also, I do want to have a little segment for both Holly and Lindsay, two very powerful women in this game, for sure, in College Survivor and Survivor Syracuse history nonetheless. Both had a lot of power at very similar times in this game, I saw, and both were very good at this game. So I mean, like we said in our like little group chat before, people who finish 7th and 6th have one of the like could potentially win the game. Like, they played a good enough game. That's why they landed in 7th and 6th, such like Paul Levine did in season 1. But yeah, so shout out to Holly and Lindsay for sure. But moving on to the final 5. So I have these a little preview for the finale episode, which is coming out tomorrow, which is why we're doing the post show today. So this is like the little montage before you like going through the people. So Paul wrote this up. Shout out to Paul. But I'm going to read each one's specific bio, and then just give me your talking points, what their chances to win in a final 3 or final 2 setting, and we'll go from there. All right, so we'll start off with Kevin. So these are Paul words, not mine. Paul has a better vernacular than me. The Shady Snake, networking across tribes from the Narc Alliance from the start. Kevin found a bestie in Jen before being forced to betray her, solidifying his wishy-washy strategy of working with whoever was convenient for him. If Kevin makes it, would his skills as a social butterfly prove fruitful from the jury? So the big points there, wishy-washy, which is what we saw a lot post-merge. Is it enough as a social butterfly? Because everyone loves Kevin.
I think that's just it, is that everybody loves Kevin as a person, but do they love the game that he played? And I think that we brought it up earlier that we don't really think that people are going to love the game that he played. Not that he played a bad game, but love it more than anyone else in the game.
Yeah, and I think his social skills kind of took a dip this episode when he at Final 6 is like, I just am not going to talk to any of these people anymore. Like, they've pissed me off. I'm done with them. I never really liked them. And I think that's going to end up, biting him if he gets to the end, because they'll be like, Kevin, you weren't playing the end of the game. Like, and he can maybe say like, well, I didn't want to talk to you guys. Like, I just got blindside after blindside. And that's just not a good answer. So I fear that his time, his win equity has, decreased. It's kind of gone. And a large part of that, I think, is because of this past episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's really well said. And on the flip side of what we've been saying about Sabrina, it's not about impressing us, Kevin, which he has done the entire time. It is instead about how you treat the jury and how they perceive your game and who you are and who you're next to. And I don't know if he's managed that well enough. I don't know if he has a story he can tell that'll convince them. I think he's like the least likely to win, because I think he's not talking to people and will just get voted out. But also, it's hard in any jury setting for him, I think.
Mm-hmm. Before we move on, who does Kevin beat in a final 3 or final 2? Is it anyone? Is there a chance for one person?
Yeah, Andrew said he beats Zach in a final 2, which I think could be true. Obviously, we need to see what they do in the last few rounds. I don't think he wins a final 3. I think at least one of the other 2 people will eat up the votes, and you could get a situation where they eat up all of the votes because people are like, oh, these 2 deserve it more. Even if I like Kevin, I want to make sure the one of these 2 that I want wins.
For sure. All right. Moving forward, Lydia, the meticulous manipulator, the chatty Kathy, crunching the numbers since she flipped the Mind Tribe from voting Sabrina out week 1. Lydia faced her lowest of lows after the tribe swap, losing Molly before Rox took out her closest ally, Carl, at the start of the merge. Since then, she acquired a new ally in Zach to take out his old alliance, and still has an idol to spare. Does she have what it takes to win it all, or did she make too many enemies along the way? So yeah, Lydia, very analytical, very calculated, lost a lot of people, but made a lot of enemies along the way. What are your thoughts?
Lydia's funny as fuck. I enjoy her every time she speaks. And I think she's played another great game. But as you said, I think she might have snaked a couple people more than she should have, or I don't know. I think she has a great chance at winning, but I think she loses to either of the other 2 girls she's going with, because I think the 3 girls are going to compose our final tribal in some way or another, and I think she loses to both of the other 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say first, I really liked her TikTok and y'all's meme Monday post. I thought that shit was funny. I feel like I really like Lydia, and I think that she's played like a really solid game. Now, if she's sitting with Sabrina and Madison, I kind of feel like there's like Sabrina in the middle, and then Madison and Lydia are two extremes on either side. And I worry that Lydia's extreme might be like a negative connotation for the jury. They might see her kind of as a negative player, being that she's a little snaky, she's a little rude, she's kind of loud. And so I do worry for her, but I think she's played like a solid game. Like I would probably give her my vote if she was in the final three.
I agree. I think that she's really smart. She's probably. I was thinking that when I was watching the episode, that I was like, she's on top of it. Like she knows exactly what's going on, and she seemed to like even when she's been in trouble, like knew that she was in trouble and knew what was going on. And so yeah, I think with because she has her idol, I think that she's probably guaranteed final four. Then at that point, she doesn't really even need immunity unless she wants to try and take it from whoever she's targeting.
And good point, Jacob, that she did keep that idol from the very beginning, which shows a lot, especially with all of her allies, Carl, Molly being some of them, being voted off in brutal ways. So the fact that she held on to that, very, very strong will of her.
Same props to Madison in that sense, then. Don't forget her. She's had hers, I think she got it like, a round later than Lydia did, and has kept it since, and has everyone that she's worked with and voted out.
Yeah.
That is exactly true.
Yeah.
Very true. And moving on to the next person, Madison. So Madison, the unsung soldier, forced to fight for her life since her very first tribal council, Madison has navigated a never-ending battlefield, losing ally after ally, keeping her head up as she worked her connections every round, even finding 2 idols. However, will her fake idol play earn respect from the jury, or will it prove to be her fatal flaw? I think that's the big question around Madison. Like, we know the story with she's been battling from the bottom, but this fake idol, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that it like sunk her game a lot. As someone who's been Team Madison most of this season, I think that I really want to see her pull it off and figure out how to get out of that situation. I hope she knows that she's in that situation. I'm not sure if she does quite yet, but we'll see.
I feel like underdogs when it comes to like a jury it's not always like you root for the underdog. Like sometimes the underdog gets to the end and the people that were on top are pissed off to see the underdog in the end, right? So she's had like her allies get voted out. She's had to constantly fight from the bottom, and she finally had her way in this episode with the 7th and 6th vote outs. But the jury seeing her in the end might just piss them off, honestly. They're like, oh my God, we got duped by Madison. Like, are you kidding me? So I don't know. I mean, obviously, like this fake idol play, in my opinion, is just going to make her probably look not as great, but it's really jury dependent, I think. If the jury wants the underdog to do well and they see Madison and they're like, wow, what a fantastic story. Like, she's really clawed from the bottom. She's played hard, even when her back's been against the wall. She's come out on top, or not necessarily come out on top, but she's survived. If the jury likes that, then she's in a good place. If they're pissed off because she's the underdog and she made it to the end, then it's not going to look good for her.
Yeah, I think she's still in a great spot. I think she has a lot of pathways to the end, and I think she's probably like the biggest challenge threat left. So I think she has a great chance. It's her job to now say like, hey guys, I know it was recent, and I know none of you like it, but it was one thing I did when I had a whole other game. Like, pay attention to that shit instead. And I think she's been well spoken. She actually has like really like thoughtful and like insightful confessionals when other people are just like, sometimes they just sort of like spin themselves in a circle, but she's weighing what other people will think of her actions and how she should respond to theirs. Like, she's very cerebral with this, her spreadsheets and like trust scoring and everything. So I think if she presents it well, she still has a great case. It's just a matter of saying, forget that part, pay attention to what matters. And she could do it. I would love to see her do it. She would be my favorite to win, and I'd told her that. So we'll see.
In my opinion, overall, she's played like one of the best games for sure.
Mm-hmm. Maybe not the most physical beast with Mitch coming in the final 3. Um,
He's just gonna literally dunk on them. Like it's not even fair.
Oh, it'd
Mitch
be a
is still
unanimous
Mitch.
game for Mitch.
Yeah.
Also, Andrew, great insight. The fact that this guy's still unemployed. Someone job him up soon. 'Cause that was a good. He's coming out with these great insights, like some caveats, some devil advocate. I love it. But very true. Madison, I always saw her vlogs. I always watched them because she was just like scrolling through her spreadsheet, very analytical, even though it wasn't really shown. I don't even know if the cast knew, and very strategic, very analytical. And yeah, moving on. So we have Zach, the social swinger, the first to find a hidden immunity idol this season, and the only remaining soul of the final five. Zach played a truly social game. Good one, Paul. Making friendships over allies, letting his tribe mates take the wheel so he didn't have to, until he flipped on them with one foul swoop. If he can make it to the end, will the jury respect the timing of his big move, or was he just a little too late?
So I think Zach fell into the perfect trap of what happens in orgs and in College Survivor of like a super fan. Is they're like, you know what the perfect textbook game of Survivor is to ride the middle, let other people think they're the decision makers, and then you rip the rug out from under them, and you're the last one who's made the best big move at the end, and I made it and you didn't. Eat that. And it's a cool thing to say because I think he did exactly do that, but no one on a jury likes to vote for that guy. It's the perfect textbook Survivor game that doesn't win. So I don't know who Zach beats. He's going to have to do something magical and spin some wizardry at Final Tribal if he's there. But I've enjoyed him regardless. I'm not upset that I picked him as my winner. I said that earlier. I'm not upset. He's delivered throughout, but I don't see him winning. I don't see a position that he's in where he can pull that off.
Mm.
Yeah, I just think all the women have played better games than Zach has. So even though I don't necessarily think Zach has played a poor game, I just think other people have played a better game than Zach, right? And so he goes to the end, and if it's a final three and he's there with Madison, Sabrina, or Lydia, then he should lose, right? Like,
Mhm.
I would honestly be kind of upset if he managed to beat one of those women. Now, if he gets to them with Kevin, maybe he could possibly pull out a win, although I still think Kevin beats him. But I don't know. Zach, he hasn't played an awful game, but this episode was not his best showing. And I think Ethan was like so on the money with that description of like the super fan thinking that playing the middle of the road game is the way to go. But that just doesn't get you any rewards in College Survivor.
People like commitment. Like, show me you're with me and stay with me. Like, that's what's going to earn my vote.
Sure.
I was going to say the same thing. I think that these three girls are three of the most intelligent people who were on this season, and all three of them played super unique and interesting games. And so he's going to have trouble sitting next to any of them. He better hope it's a final two against, I don't know. He might. I think that he might win against Kevin if he's sitting next to Kevin, but that's pretty much his only hope, I think, in my opinion.
Fair.
All right, it would be tragic though if the boot order from this episode on went Lindsay, Holly, and then the three women. That would just be a tragic.
Oh, no, don't even put that in the universe, Andrew. Could you imagine some like crazy fairy tale where Madison and Lydia play their idols, and then Zach is somehow like the one Sabrina vote or something stupid?
Yeah.
Like that would just ruin everything.
Right.
You never know. It's
You
college.
never know.
Wackier things have been done.
It's true.
And
Yeah,
last
crazy
but
shit
not
happens.
least, we have Sab, the meek. I can't pronounce this word. The meek Machiavellian. There we go.
You nailed it. Way to go, Luke.
There we go. After I would also, just to put this out there, I would be on Soul Tribe. No chance I'll be on Mind Tribe. Maybe Body Tribe. The meek Machiavellian. After almost being voted out week one, Sabrina has somehow managed and slithered her way through the crowd, surviving as the only mind on a new Soul Tribe, making and breaking allyships with anyone in her path. At the merge, Sabrina reunited with her mind menagerie, collaboratively strategizing and even helping to flip Zach, while maintaining an under-the-radar reputation. With the least blood on her hands in the final five, will she be able to stay out of sight and make it to the jury's vote? So yeah, least blood, under the radar, but will that win this type of game?
I'm hoping that, I mean, she's had her hand in many pots throughout the season, and so I'm hoping that she is able to bring that up at some point and be like, see, like I did all this stuff and none of y'all saw me as a threat. I feel like the attitude might be like they think that she's maybe a goat and they're kind of dragging her to the end, which isn't really true. She's playing real hard.
Yeah. Natalie White wins Samoa. She didn't have to do anything crazy. She just had to be nice to people, put herself in a good position, and go against someone that the jury didn't like. If you can do that, you're in a really good spot to win. And I think that's a similar game to what Sabrina's done. Obviously her own elements, obviously her own game, but I think she's in a great position to win. She just has to convince them that she is in a great position to win, and she did it on purpose.
Luke, did you say that Paul wrote those bios?
Yes, Paul.
Man,
he has another life as an author.
Yeah, he's got to be an English major or something. That's impressive. No, I echo what Nick and Ethan said about Sabrina. I don't really have too much to add. Just that, you know, she's played a solid game. She gets to the end. She can argue her case. I don't think it was a flashy game. I don't think it was a meek game. It was just solid game.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what I like about the season, I think you guys can attest, there's no GOAT. Really, there really isn't no GOAT. And there's no, like, top dog.
Mm-hmm.
So coming into this last episode, this final five, anyone could really win. I mean, there's some people above another, but who really knows what will happen in this episode that could just vault someone to the top or vault someone down. So we will see. There was a question that I just missed. So going back to Madison. So if Madison does make Final Tribal Council, with that, so she was granted a advantage from Owen back when Owen met with the two previous winners. Shout out to Ava and Austin. A little spoiler out there. Who do you think she's booting from the jury? So she has the ability to block someone's jury vote if she makes it there. Who do we think?
Especially hopefully no one. Don't do that. Like, could you imagine just the slap in the face as a jury member? Not only did you get voted out, now you lose your right to vote at the end.
Yep.
I think it's a cool advantage, terrible advantage. I would not want to play it if I were her. Seeing as you asked a question of who I would play it on if I had to, probably in her case Holly. I think Holly and her may be able to continue friendship. May be able to like reconvene after the season, but I think how like tight the schedule is going to be, it's like a week and they're not really allowed to talk to each other that much. Holly would be better. I'm not going to bring Holly's vote up because it's not going to be for me.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't think that she really needs it in a lot of cases. In every case with her sitting at Final Tribal Council, I think that there's an opportunity for her to speak her mind and get all the votes. I don't know who she would use it on, though. I need time to think about that.
Yeah, I think she probably would put it on Holly, to be honest. I guess it depends on – she's able to play it after the questioning, right? Like, it's not like she plays at the beginning of FTC.
She has to play it 2 hours before they go to Tribal.
Oh, yeah. That's awful. Yeah.
Right? It's
She doesn't know how people are going to react.
She doesn't know how they're going to respond to questions or who they'll vote for. I wouldn't play it on anyone. And I would be – if I were her, I'd be super candid and be like, I have this. I'm not using it. Like – if you have beef with me, air it out. Like, let's talk about it.
That's how she needs to play it.
Yeah, that's smart.
Exactly how she needs to play it.
I think that would honestly give her some points. Like, look, I had the ability to remove one of you guys, and I want to do like a full, transparent, set of questioning here to fully explain my game, to win points, not to like lose or like not to remove people from the jury. I think, yeah, Ethan, you're right. I think that she should like flex that and be like, I had this advantage and I didn't even use it. So, hopefully she doesn't use it. I think if she uses it, it's going towards Holly.
All right. And in the final segment, so the episode is tomorrow. Let us get the final picks from you guys, whether you think it's a final 3 or final 2, and then the order from there on out. So who finishes in third, second, first, or we can just do winner. I don't know. Whatever you think. Right. I'm okay with it. So whoever wants to start off, who is your winner's picks?
All right,
Madison, because I
it's
want
a
her.
final three. It's a final three. It's got to be. It's
It
a
has to be.
21-person season. It was mind, body, soul, right? It's gonna be a final three, right? I'm putting my money on Lydia. I think she's gonna be at the end with Sabrina and Zach. That's my guess.
All right.
Not bad.
Yeah, I think Kevin is going to be next boot for sure. Love you, Kevin, but I'm like struggling. I really want to see Madison at the end, but I think there's a scenario where of the three girls is the fall boot, and I think that Zach probably makes it to final tribal council.
Yeah.
Wait, so who
I
was
think-
your winner's pick, Nick? I think you glitched out. Oh, he didn't say it.
I didn't say it because I was trying to beat her on the bush because I can't pick. I guess I have to say Madison as well, just because I love her game the best.
I've been a Madistan the whole time, so I'd liked her to be my winner. I think she's in a great position to do it. I think she does. Like, it could be really tough, though. I think she, at the same time, I think she has a great chance to win. I think she probably has the hardest path from here. I think Kevin's the next vote. I think that just makes sense in all of our heads, but what the hell do we know? And I think if you tell them it's a final three, Madison could be in trouble at 4. If you tell them it's a final 2, she could be in trouble at 3. Like, I feel like I don't want her to have like final juror written on her forehead. It could happen. I'm still gonna pick her to win just because I want her to. I'm gonna try to like manifest that. I'm gonna have her beating Lydia and Zach. I think they're gonna knock out Sabrina at the end. That's gonna be my hot take.
Well, there you have it, folks. We have.
Hey Luke, what's your prediction?
Yeah, Luke, what do you think?
I think Mitch comes in and totally cleans house.
Perfect way to end the season.
Yeah.
Then once he has all of the jury votes, he forfeits.
That's the most Mitch thing he could do. He's got a brand.
Yep. He forfeits and gives it to the cameraman. That was what Mitch would do.
I love that, man.
All right. Any closing? Oh wait, no. Any closing remarks on the episode and/or season before I hand it off to you guys to do that?
It's been so much fun. Thanks for running your shit, Luke, and making it good, and for getting these out. You guys started after us and have a third season before we do.
Trust me, the editing is not on me. I edited season 1 and season 2. That's why season 3 is so much better. But Paul, Sabrina, who else has been editing? Well, those two have kind of been leading the front. They man the production editing team, so they're really on it. I'm telling them to take a break, like settle down, enjoy your college life, but they're really on it. So props to them.
Yeah, and props to editing a COVID season of Survivor. Like, that's just difficult to do, honestly. Like when UVA did our season last fall, it was almost exclusively online, and it was just boring, right? Like, no shade to my own school, but it was just boring, right? And so for you guys to organize and also edit during fall of 2020 when it was COVID happening, fall of 2020, it's just impressive. So good work.
And set it up and keep it interesting. It was interesting the entire time.
What? Thank you guys.
Yeah, there wasn't like bad characters or any like gimme rounds or like skippable moments. It was a really like full season of keeping you glued.
Oh yeah, it's a very challenging thing to do a 21-person cast during a COVID season, but hey, we pulled it off. So I'm proud of everyone there. With that said, I will hand it off to you guys to say whatever you want to say. Now is your shining moment. Nick, I'll start with you. If I can, still don't know how to do this. Oh my god.
One day.
Solo layout. There we go. Take it away.
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at _NLLC_. And then we started filming Ballviver season 2 just on Sunday. So follow us on Instagram and our Facebook page. I think our Facebook page is either Ballviver or it's Ball State Survivor. I don't remember. And then our Instagram is just @ballviver. And we'll probably do content as we're filming, so keep that up.
Hell yeah. Expecting great things from Ball Viber. Oop, got it done. But yeah, and all those Ball Viber people in the season, come to College Survivor chats, whatever. We need more Ball Viber people. I need more Ball Viber people.
I've been hyping
We
up
need
this
some
like
reps.
Facebook group because like that's how we pulled some people.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, there's some cool people in that group. Let me tell you.
All right, Andrew, your turn. Boop.
The dog.
All right. Well, I've since graduated. I'm now a grad student. But if you are thinking about applying for colleges and want to go to UVA, UVA is it's Gen 3 of Survivor. Survivor season 10 is actually happening right now at UVA.
Ooh.
So yeah, it's been a long ride for the UVAers with Survivor. But yeah, I don't really have too much to say since I've graduated. I can't really shout out my club because I'm not a part of it anymore. But yeah, Luke, thanks for having me on. This was a lot of fun.
Of course, we're all a part of our, no matter when we leave.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Ooh,
We're
My
always
impact is still felt.
keep it in your heart.
I went back this weekend, and then there's like these sophomore people. They probably did not know a clue who I was, but I was just there.
Oh man, I went to a soccer game the other day, and I was like leading chants and shit. And someone's like, "Who are you?" I was like, "Oh, I'm a 5th year." And there's like, "What?" And then I realized like the freshmen were in middle school when I like started college, and that was really really gross.
Oh, I never thought of
And
that.
I'm like looking at them, and I'm like, "You're what, 15? Shut up! Don't talk to me."
That's insane. That when I was a freshman, the people in college right now were in middle school. That's wild.
Yeah,
I don't like
it's
that.
uncomfortable.
All right, Ethan, you're up.
On that note, check us out at Survivor Yukon. I have very happily retired from it. We have passed it off to an excellent Gen 2 production team who's going to take it to places we never could have. It's going to be super great. They're starting their 6th season this fall, recruiting for that. So if you're a Yukon person for whatever reason watching this, go check it out and go check out our channel. Check out our Instagram, which I dropped there. And yeah, come hang out with me. Find me on Instagram or shoot me a shot. I don't know. Thanks for having me, Luke. It's been a blast. This is a great season and a great club. But go Huskies.
Oh yeah, love it. Love you guys. Love having you on here. We'll do it again for season 24 of Survivor Syracuse when we're all old and fat.
We have families, Jesus Christ.
It'll
Oh
be.
Lord.
But little shout out to the Gen 2 peeps up in Syracuse. They're handling things gracefully. So good editing this season and next, and doing their own season of themselves right now. So I know they're in good hands. I miss it so much, but they have my graces. Yeah, if you're ever in New York, hit me up, and we'll get drinks. But other than that, for Survivor Syracuse, check out the finale tomorrow. Have no idea when the post show is. Who knows? I could be hosting it again, but that will be sometime. And yeah, but thank you, Ethan, Andrew, Nick, once again. Great season, and we'll see who comes out on top as the 3rd ever winner. See ya.